Good evening, friends. We are live again, day 74, or you could call it episode 74. We are in the midst of going live for 100 days straight, and we've also jumped in to a challenge from the folks at StreamYard, 30 days in April, so 30 days straight of live streaming. So want to welcome everyone that's been joining us for our 100 days of live streaming. And we also want to welcome those that are in the StreamYard community. Maybe you're watching this. Welcome. A lot of what we talk about is about live streaming, and use StreamYard 99.9% of the time. It is the centerpiece, the heartbeat, the cornerstone, if you will, of again, 99.9% of the live streams that we do. We're using it tonight, no different than every other night. We do occasionally use other tools to stream, mostly just to stay on top of all the technology, but StreamYard is by far the easiest tool that I've ever used to go live. It's easier than even the native apps as far as I'm concerned. You know, you can go live natively on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, I believe. Most of those platforms, I've maybe gone live once or twice using their tool. I prefer StreamYard. It's easy. I pick the destinations. I put in my title and description, potentially schedule it, and then I'm done with it. So tonight we're actually going to talk about when is the best time to live stream, or just when's the best time to stream. We want to talk about that some, and so stick with us. Want to share with you my thoughts on that. Would love to get your input, your thoughts, any questions that you have. Again, the StreamYard community is a diverse and ever-growing community, so would love to hear from my fellow StreamYard compadres, and whatever the female version of compadres would be. Anyway, guys and gals out there, would love to hear your tips and tricks and things that you use with StreamYard, maybe auxiliary hardware, other software. We talk about that all the time. So want to jump right into it. When is the best time to live stream? It's a great question. And I'm going to say, like a good consultant does, I've been consulting for the last 25 years for, or two Fortune 100 and Fortune 500 companies. The age-old answer is it depends, and it truly does. But let's talk about it some. Again, the question is, when is the best time to live stream? And the first answer that I'm going to give, and there are multiple answers, the best time to live stream is the time when you can stream. If you have tons of flexibility, we'll talk about that in a moment. If you don't have a lot of flexibility, I don't always have a lot of flexibility, so I go live when I can. I would much rather go live earlier than later, but sometimes I don't go live until midnight. Now, the reality is fewer people are likely to see that live stream when it's actually live, but that's also one of the reasons that I go live on YouTube, because content on YouTube is evergreen. It's the second largest search engine in the world. So, if you're strategic with your title, with your description, go back later, adjust your thumbnail, all the kind of things that you do to optimize a video on the YouTube platform, at least, then you can catch up, if you will. And maybe you didn't get as many live viewers, but you'll get many more through search. Hopefully your video gets picked up by the YouTube algorithm and begins to be seen in the suggested and the browse feature. But so the first answer again is go live when you can. Now, if you have a flexible schedule, or if you can set aside a specific time, either if it's daily, monthly, weekly, whatever, but if you can set a particular time, I do believe that's better. It's not required, I don't believe, to be successful, but it's better if you can pick a time every day, even if it's not the optimal time of the day. But if you can pick, let's say 12 o'clock, I'm not saying that's the best time, 12 noon every day, or 12 noon on Friday, 12 noon on Sunday, or maybe it's 7 p.m. I do think, again, I'm not presenting any scientific facts or a ton of analytics, and we'll get to that actually in a minute. Not presenting those things tonight, but I do believe that generally speaking, it's better to go live when people are not at work or not working, or not the traditional work hours. Now, of course, things change or have changed a lot. People have variable schedules, have flexible schedules, a lot of different things, but there are still a lot of people that work something similar to a 9 to 5, 8 to 5, something along those lines. So I think generally speaking, if you can go live in that 7 to 8 p.m. time frame, you might find that that's optimal. That's also the time when you probably want to be having dinner with your family, if you have a family, those type of things. So there's, that's not perfect maybe for you personally, but it might be, or very well could be, one of the more optimal times to do it. Now, if you're not doing it, if you're not going live daily, then you can probably find one night where that works. I don't honestly, over a long period of time, necessarily suggest that you go live every day, especially if you're focused on YouTube. I think the jury is still out on the exact impact of live video every single day on YouTube for an extended period of time. Now, Pat Flynn, you'll have to go look him up if you're not sure who he is. I think he actually has now gone live 365 days straight. He started that back 360 plus days ago. He's done now, I think, with that. And, I think he did it to a certain extent as an experiment. And I enjoyed it at times, didn't catch it every time he went live, but I would say that his content is highly searchable, a lot of good value there. So it'll be seen months, years after he went live. So there's value in doing that. He was very consistent with the time of day that he went live, that type of thing. I mean, it's his sole business, if you will, doing content creation, teaching people how to start a podcast, all those kind of things. So that's his full-time gig. So I would argue that it's a little bit easier for him to carve out that time, not taking away from the effort required, the dedication required, all of that. So he gets all the credit for all of those things, regardless of what you do for a living. It takes a lot to go live every day. We have a little bit to say about that, and a little bit of experience now, having gone live for 74 days straight ourselves. And this is the third day of the StreamYard challenge. So, best day is the day that you can go live. Better if you can pick dedicated time on a particular day. If you're going once a week, once a month, whatever. If you're going every day, a particular time every day is probably best, even if it's not optimal for optimal viewers. At least people can know 1 o'clock every day, and on the days they can catch it, then they're live on those days. I would love to hear from those of you that are watching this live, or maybe you're watching the replay. Answer this maybe from the standpoint of a creator and as a consumer. Maybe you're both, maybe you're just one. If you're a creator, I hope you're a consumer, because that's how you're going to get better, is to consume content as well. But let's assume that you're maybe not a creator at this point in time. If you would share with me here in the comments, when you like to take in video content specifically. If it varies, that's fine. Just give me maybe 1 or 2 times a day. I actually don't have any one particular time myself, honestly. I mean, I do and I don't. It certainly is after traditional work hours would be the time that I probably consume the most. But given what I do and flexibility and things, I will take in content during the day as well. But it's, for me, hardly ever entertainment. Perfectly fine for those that, mix and match, or maybe you only consume YouTube, Facebook. We're talking video here mostly. So video content, maybe you mostly consume that for entertainment. Perfectly fine. I honestly consume most of my content for just gaining knowledge, growing, that type of thing. It's just because that's the way I'm wired. So it doesn't make me better or anything like that. It just makes me different than maybe some of you. So would love to hear again in the comments that. Another thing I want to mention is I talked last night a little bit about Donald Miller, and I have the Audible of 2 of his books, the Business Made Easy and Marketing Made Easy. I've not opened it yet, but I just got his book, Business Made Easy, today. So I'll be talking about that some over the next couple of weeks. One other thing, or another thing I want to mention real quick. I've talked about it some, but we are going to be giving away these Flex watches. This one's really cool. It's themed. I think this one is the one that's related to them providing water for folks in the world that don't have clean water like many of us do in more developed parts of the world. So Flex Watches has been gracious enough to send us some watches to share out to our community, do a giveaway. We are going to be doing that, as I've mentioned multiple times, exclusively on YouTube. So I do want to suggest that you come follow me on YouTube and subscribe and turn on notifications so you'll know when we make the announcements, that type of thing. So you can go to strammel.info/YouTube and again, subscribe, turn on notifications. And then one other way, although the giveaway will still be exclusively on YouTube, you can actually get connected with me on email, get on my email list, and I will be sending out an email letting people know that giveaway has kind of started. Again, you'll still have to go to YouTube to get all the details, and but you can join my email list, strammel.com. It's not .info in this particular case, but strammel.com/email. If you get on that email list, you are going to get an email when we are ready to begin the process. We've got going to be giving away at least 3, maybe 4 watches. You can only win once, but so that means we'll be giving out 3 different or 4 different watches for 3 or 4 different nights. So come on out and hang with us on YouTube. I've talked about this before, and I've mentioned this every night, so now is a good time to mention it here. I highly recommend that you create a YouTube channel if you don't have one, and that you begin to create your own videos, begin to start live streaming. You can live stream to a unlisted or private video where only you or only the few that you want to tell about could find it or go see it and watch it. So there's really no reason not to get started. There's every reason to start, regardless of whether you think you're ready or prepared, because it will basically put more skills in your toolbox, and we can all use, I think, all the extra skills in our toolbox, given the way this world is ever changing. We all know how COVID-19 changed things potentially forever in some ways. Online video, live streaming is a staple now more than ever before. I actually just wrapped up at 5 o'clock today, mostly producing one of 2 8-hour telethons. So that was really cool. It was for nonprofit. So this telethon was basically mostly musicians, comedians. Every about hour, there was a MC that came on, interviewed a business owner, encouraged people to support local businesses. And so it was a fundraiser for local businesses. One of those telethons was in the California area. Another one was in Missouri. And guess what was used? StreamYard. So create a YouTube channel, start going live stream, use StreamYard to do that. There's a link in the description where you can get StreamYard for free. You can start out using the free version. You could use the free version forever. You'll probably, if you live stream enough, get to the point where you want to take advantage of some of the more advanced features. With the free account, you can go live 20 hours a month. You can have up to 6 guests, and you can do a Zoom-like call with no limit. So if you're just basically bringing people in to have a conference call, not going live or streaming, then you're not that 20 hours is not being counted, if you will. So you could have a 24-hour conference call with up to 6 people, as long as you're not streaming that. So it's one of the most capable free tools that I know about. StreamYard is very functional, a lot of capabilities with the free account. And if you use my link, you'll get, I think it's $10 off if you decide to go to one of their paid plans. I used the free plan for probably 3-4 months. I did have an organization buy for a month one of the paid plans. I did also a telethon like thing with United Way probably about a year ago, last summer. Was really successful. And again, we use StreamYard, and it's super, super easy to use. One of the other things that I encourage everyone to do every night without fail, I mentioned this, not only to create a YouTube channel and start, creating videos, is to also begin to build, grow, and use an email list. You don't want to be dependent on social media to be able to get your message out to your audience. I use ConvertKit. I think it's one of the best ones out there. And again, because we love free so much, I like to tell people that it's free as well for up to 1,000 subscribers. strammel.info/ConvertKit. It's in the description as well. The link is, if you're on Facebook or YouTube, those links are there. And you can, again, use that free forever if you never need to have more than 1,000 subscribers. And if you mostly want to send out broadcast messages to targeted, segmented audiences, you're good. Now, if you want to do some of the more advanced features like some automations and automated challenges, a number of things in that regard, then you are going to find yourself wanting to upgrade to a paid plan. And you also save money if you use my link when you do that. So I'm all about free, and I'm all about saving money. So I love both of those. So come to our YouTube channel, subscribe, turn on notifications, join our email list. And then finally, maybe you're already subscribed. Maybe you already have notifications turned on. But I highly recommend also that you go and save as a favorite in your browser this link, strammel.info/100 days. That is the playlist on YouTube for every night so far that we've gone live of that 100 days that we're going. And then also tonight's will be in there as soon as we shut down the stream. So we would love for you to start that. Just let it play in the background. Listen to it when you can. It'll be playing in the morning when you get up, but it will also help us with the watch hours. We're getting ever closer, but still a good ways away. We have about 400 watch hours now. Finally, we broke got out above the 300 mark. Now we're at the 400 mark. So 400 watch hours. We need 3,600 more. So we need 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers to be a part of the YouTube Partner Program. So if you would get behind us or behind me in that stretch goal, we're here to support you as maybe you just begin to start your YouTube channel and get started on your journey. But let us know. Come back here or in one of the episodes, especially if you didn't have a YouTube channel, if you created one, or if you have one and you're not using it much yet, or even if you have, when and or if you have a YouTube channel, share it with us here, and we'd love to tell people about it. Tell us a little bit about in the comments what your YouTube channel is about, what you hope to do with it, that type of thing. So I do want to say, I didn't say this at the beginning, we're live on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Periscope, and YouTube. We could go live on Amazon Live, and I do go live on Amazon Live using StreamYard, but typically go live only on Amazon Live when I'm doing that, because it has somewhat of a unique format, or there's a certain expectation when you go live on Amazon Live, what you're doing. It's mostly about products. Some of those lives from other creators is heavily produced. So, I mean, they can be very interesting if you're, most of us are in need of technology, whether that's a computer, a video camera, lighting, microphones, right? All the things, printers, SSD drives, memory cards for our cameras, batteries, right? All phones, phone chargers, right? It's endless. So I do stream on Amazon Live some. That link is in the description. Go check that out, just so you can kind of see what's out there with that. It is something that you might also want to consider as a way of generating a secondary income. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme or something that's going to just happen overnight, and you do have to apply to be a part of the Amazon influencer program, if you will. And I already had a pretty well-established YouTube channel, and that was the reference that I gave, so I got accepted pretty quickly. It's hard for me to say, depending on what kind of an audience you have right now, whether you'll get approved the first time. It may take a couple of times. And then talking about platforms, I've also applied once and got denied. Let's just be open and honest, got denied on LinkedIn for my personal profile. I've now applied again, and I thought the other night when I thought, okay, I've applied. It's been a while. I went and searched my email and found, back in February, it said, you've been approved, and it had my name. Well, I thought that approval was for my personal profile, but that was the approval that I already knew about for the company that I work for, and, kind of one of the things that I do more so on the side than anything else for that company, my day job, quote unquote, help out with the YouTube channel that we established at my encouragement. I'll be honest. Few props, and then also the LinkedIn application that we put out there, we got approved for that as well. So that approval that I saw in my email was for that. So I got all excited and then realized it wasn't for my personal profile. So I was a little bummed, but nonetheless, I encourage you. I'm talking about a lot of different platforms. I'll be honest, and it's my personal preference and opinion, may or may not be yours, which is perfectly fine. If you were only going to focus on one, and I think it's actually the right thing to do initially to focus on one, I would focus on YouTube. You might want to use Facebook as a second destination or as a primary, YouTube as a secondary. Just consider them both basically two primaries, and then that way you can, like I do, continue to ask your Facebook followers to come on over to YouTube. Again, the main reason, among others, is YouTube is a evergreen platform. People are going to be finding your videos for weeks, months, years in the future. And if you at some point are monetized, which I'll be honest, I'm headed, towards that, want to get to that point to have options at least. Once you're monetized, and let's say you do have ads enabled for some or maybe all of your videos, you are going to see some revenue from that. It's not initially the most lucrative. We've talked about this other nights before. Affiliate marketing is probably going to even work better for you initially. So get signed up for the Amazon Associates program. That's the probably the one that most people think about, but there's tons of affiliate programs out there. I'm not on some of these, but literally Home Depot, Target, Lowe's, a lot of different ones. I have affiliate programs, for example, TubeBuddy, and that's another one I do want to talk about briefly. If you decide to take my advice and create a YouTube channel, or maybe you already have one and you're not doing much with it, but you've been encouraged enough by me to pick it back up, TubeBuddy is a great tool to help you optimize your channel, individual videos. Again, we love free. It's free. There's a free plan. You can at some point upgrade almost all of these things. At some point there's an upgrade as you grow. Then as you're wanting to level up to the next level, you're either going to have some, revenue coming in to justify it. And I'm looking for another link. That's why I'm looking over there. Or you're willing to invest in some of those tools because of where it's going to take you. I was looking for a link, just so you know, while I'm looking over here, not looking straight into the camera. I had a link for a music service as well, which I talked about last night, called Upbeat. So let me look real quick, and if I don't find it, just go to episode 73 and you'll see the link. Maybe I don't have it here. There it is. Okay. Reason I'm bringing this up, again, it's another helpful tool. If you're, it's not exclusively for YouTube. It's where I will use it most. But Upbeat is similar to Spotify in the sense that there's a lot of free royalty free in the sense you don't have to pay for it, and then copyright free, royalty free in the sense that you can legally use it. So it's free and free. You could play that as background music during a live stream, during a pre-recorded video that you then upload, download those and use them as music in a video that you're recording, and then you're going to edit, and then you're going to publish. It's really cool. It's free. Again, you can upgrade with the plan that you get for free. If you're streaming, in essence, a playlist, there'll be some ads every once in a while. And I think the ad is pretty much consistently just upbeat saying, hey, if you don't want us to be talking, then, upgrade to this plan or that plan. I don't actually know, so I'd love for someone else to go try this. And I've got some comments I'm going to bring up here in just a minute. I'd like for someone to go try download, and I don't know if any of the downloads have the advertisement in it or if it's just when you're streaming it. But again, one other thing, just so you know, on Spotify, there's also some free, copyright-free music from a couple of different creators. And if you have a Spotify subscription, which I don't have, then you can play that also in the background, and you're good to go. Let's see. Okay, yeah. I'm not really sure who. One other interesting thing about Facebook, this is a Facebook user. I don't know who it is. But there should be a notification that you see on the post that with this video on it, where you have to acknowledge and allow Facebook to capture who you are. I don't mind if you stay anonymous, but I obviously also like to acknowledge those that are in my community. But here this Facebook user, sorry, I don't know who you are. You can tell me and I'll say, but it says I didn't realize till like 2 days ago that one could go live on Amazon. Yes, you most certainly can. Again, like I said, there's a application process, but I think it's worth the effort to do it. I'd be curious if you found out 2 days ago based upon us mentioning it, or maybe you found it out a different way. But also Kenny says, hello. Hey, Kenny, thanks for joining us, especially because it's such a big push that I'm making. Especially thank you for being with us on YouTube. I think it's good right now or appropriate to say, hey, if you're watching the replay, I'm 30 minutes in, so I apologize that I didn't mention you later, but thank you for those that are watching the replay. I think that's a lesson learned as well. I try to do it. I forget sometimes. I want to welcome, and I think you might want to consider, if you start live streaming, welcoming your live viewers / listeners and those that are watching on the replay, because the reality is at 9:49 Central Standard Time on a Saturday night, a weekend, I might not be, there might not be a lot of people out there watching it right now. We've had a pretty good amount tonight, so I do thank everyone for that. But for that replay especially, you want to acknowledge your audience, whether they're watching replay or otherwise. So tomorrow is actually going to be episode 75, and it's going to be on Easter. So we're, Friday, last night was Good Friday, so we acknowledge the fact that, and I'll just mention it again, as a Christian, this is a very special weekend. We're still going live, but we do want to acknowledge, that this is Easter weekend, and I know my family and many of my friends are very, thankful that Christ died and rose again, and that we're able to put our faith and trust in Him. Don't make this normally about politics or religion. This is a very specific exception, given that it's Easter, but we'll return to basically just, business, marketing, social media, all the things, but we are celebrating Easter this weekend, and so happy about that. I believe I saw it on your post. Okay. Hey, Joanne. Joanne is, I know from my coaching community, so I can tell because of her icon there, an ULA coach, the ULA guys, and all the coaches. I got a great many friends that are certified ULA life coaches. Go check that out. Search that out. But I've got a Facebook group where the focus is on technology, primarily mixed in with that is some business thoughts, ideas, how to operate a business, how to use technology as a coach, a consultant, any number of things there. So, yeah, go check that out. It may feel like you're doing QVC, but I think you can actually have fun with it. And you'd probably be surprised how many people actually find it when you're live and watch it. And maybe they'll click on some of the products. Pick products that you like would be my recommendation. That's certainly what I do with affiliate marketing. I've mentioned this a couple of other times in the past, but I mostly only review or mention or spend time talking about products that I either already use, products or services, software, hardware, books, video, all the things that I've either used or have researched and would want to use if I could get them, if I had them in my possession. And so we, have things that we already have and things that we would like to have. So I am the kind of person that will spend upwards to 6 months continuing to research something, up until the point that I have the means or the time to, acquire that. And so I'm many times very deep already into the knowledge of a product before I actually have it in hand. So, Joanne, I'm not really sure, but I'll show it. I don't know what 1B7 is. But I'll show your comment. So thanks for showing that. We're going to be wrapping this up pretty soon. I do want to say, if you're on YouTube, I'll have the playlist up here, and it will also propose another video for you to watch. Go to that playlist, like I said, start that, and we do appreciate every one of you that are watching this, whether you joined us live tonight or whether you joined us or whether you're joining in the replay. We going to end it by saying, again, because we believe it so much, and we are in this StreamYard challenge. StreamYard is an amazing tool. It's super, super easy. So if you go to strammel.info/StreamYard, go get signed up and start using it. Another recommendation, if you don't want to mess with YouTube, although I recommend it, create a private Facebook group and go live to that Facebook group until you've done 3 or 4. I almost said until you feel comfortable, and I didn't say that because I don't actually believe that. I don't think you should wait until you feel comfortable. I think you should maybe do a few just to get down somewhat of a process, build up a little bit of momentum, build up a little bit of courage, but don't wait until you think you're ready, because many of us never get started when we take that approach. Your first video will be your worst video. I stole that line, by the way, by Sean Cannell. Sean Cannell, I'm not sure if I'm saying his last name right, but I believe I am. Sean Cannell has the YouTube channel Think Media and Think Marketing. His Think Media YouTube channel, so we're giving him some props, has, I think, 1.6 million now. He hit 1 million earlier this year, and he's close now to 2 million. Has a lot of good things to share. I get a lot out of his channel, and so go check out Sean Cannell. You can search on YouTube under Think Media. Just make sure you keep coming back here, though, because he's much more polished in many ways than me, so you're going to get a ton of information out of there. But I promise I will never recommend another person if you don't come back, and I'm kidding. I think you already know that we are not afraid to point you to other people. Like I said, I consume tons and tons of videos from, let's say, Gary Vaynerchuk. I've mentioned multiple times about his book, Jab, 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 Right Hook. I believe that concept is 100% spot on approach. It's a metaphor or a different way of basically saying give, 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 and then ask. So just be prepared. We're going to ask at times. Our ask right now is just follow us, stay connected with us, come watch us grow, take what you can that's good, spit out what our mistakes. I've talked about this before as well. We've been going live now for, again, 74 nights. It gets easier every night. I still make mistakes. I don't make the same mistakes a lot of times. Like I mentioned earlier, I should have mentioned our replay folks much, much earlier in the video. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it, but nonetheless, you recognize things. But I will say, which I've mentioned as well, that I actually prefer live video now over pre-recorded. In the anticipation, or with the expectation that this is the first time some of you have heard me live, I'll repeat myself, which is to say that I'm of the opinion, and I think it's true, that you actually get more grace, if I can use that term, when you go live than you do when you record a video. Even though you have the opportunity to edit that video, the expectation of the quality of it, the presentation, those types of things typically is higher because people know you've had time to fix all those things. Whereas, everyone knows if they start at the beginning of this video that it was live, none of it pre-recorded, all those kind of things. So we just went after it. I don't have a teleprompter, which I'm not opposed to those. Tonight, I don't have any notes, nothing. Some of that has to do with, again, the way someone is wired, various different things. So, but for me, if I could come prepared, if I had the time to come prepared, I'd have, the equivalent probably of a PowerPoint that I could bring up to cover points, all those kind of things. And that's something you'll see if you go check out Sean Cannell. And so let's do that. So I'm going to leave it with, Joanne says, "Ooh, we must talk." So yeah, let's talk. I don't know what I said that sparked your interest, but send me a DM, or if you're not on the email list, get on the email list. And then also when you get a response back from that email list, send me a one-off email. Nonetheless, would love to find out what you want to talk about. And I will also say and apologize, and although this is live, most people won't care, but I'm going to say it anyway, and I need to look it up. One of my coaching friends had asked me for some help with their affiliate link. So if you're watching this for some reason, and Joanne, is it possible that was you? Probably not. But anyway, I will get back with you. I promise. Monday now, because tomorrow is Easter and all that. I'll get back with you. I'll do my best to help you. I'm going to end it with this, which is to say our primary goal, just like the jab, 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 right hook, is value, bring value, bring value, bring value. I hope you're getting value out of this. I am a kind of verbose person at times, so this is one of the things that I know that I can improve on, to maybe be more summarized in my approach. Sometimes, you can't apologize, or you should not apologize honestly for how you're wired, how you're made, what your general tendencies are, but that also doesn't mean that you can't adapt and that you can't change depending on the environment that you're going to be in for a given thing. So whether that's live video or, you're presenting to an audience, that type of thing, I'm not beyond learning, growing, changing. But bottom line is, my goal is to bring value to you, those in my audience / community, and what we hope to be able to provide to anyone watching, whether you've watched 1, 20, 75 of these videos, is to help you, grow your influence, your impact, and your income. And I really believe this, that I came to that conclusion of those thoughts independently, but I want to be honest. Again, Sean Cannell uses that same phrase in one way or another, and so I'm going to give him credit for it, even if it maybe independently came into my mind as well. But I think it's a very appropriate way to talk about what we hope for, and none of it is vanity, and I'll explain that briefly, and then we're going to be done for the night. Influence, not for influence sake, but so that you can make impact. And when you're making impact on people over time, you are, you're providing value, and value is worth, an income. So I think they all come together. I love the fact that they're all I's. So, you get to say influence, impact, income, 3 I's. The 3 I's, I love that phrase, that way of bringing things together. So that's where we're going to leave it. Go again up here, watch all 75 episodes. That would be awesome. 74. Tomorrow will be 75. Come back tomorrow and we'll do it again. All right. Good night.